Hello and welcome to the Vegematic Show. Are you here for informed commentary, for advice, anything like that? You're in the wrong place. You might as well leave right now because you won't find that here. What you will find is me. And who am I? I'm Vegematic. Vegematic Deluxe is my full name. However, you can call me Veg. And Vegematic is a state of mind, actually. It's just years of vegetative thinking that has gotten me to believe that I am truly Vegematic. I'm having a bit of an identity crisis between, the character Vegematic and the real person me. I mean, just because my name's Omatic doesn't mean that I want to be associated with a cheap kitchen appliance that was hawked to millions of people on TV, because it's spelled differently anyway. So I'll make sure of that so nobody can sue me or demand that I lose the name Vegematic. I came upon that name very honestly. And it's better than some of the names people have called me in the past, which I'd rather forget about because they're very painful. That one was particularly mean. No, sorry, I got lost in the past there, which as you reach a certain age, you will notice that many times your mind will drift back over the years, back before there were computers, and back before the world shrunk so much, and back before all hell broke out. Anyway, I'm here to bring you some positive news. Now, in spite of all the panicky stuff about the virus, let's admit it, we humans are actually the virus. The Earth is producing the virus to try and fight back a little, and it's effective, and I'll tell you why it's effective. With all the industries locked down, some of the filthiest cities, the cities with the filthiest air in the world, and we're talking about India, and we're talking about Thailand, and just places where on a normal day you can't breathe if you go outside. But by having this lockdown thing happening, one of the silver linings is that the air is getting clean. There's an article I read in The Guardian. I'll try and put a link to it if I can find it again. But it's amazing. They have pictures on both sides with a cursor in the middle, and you can move it from side to side. And it goes from what things were like before the shutdown and what they are now. And it's like the difference between night and day. It's incredible. And maybe people realize that not burning so much oil might be a real good idea. I think it's time to move on and stop using oil altogether. Of course, the Canadian Prime Minister today made sure that the oligarchs, it's sort of like, anyway, the oil people are getting like some billions of dollars in bailouts because nobody wants their product. The world is awash in this filth, and unless we stop using it, we're all going to die anyway. And if you just go and look at this article, it's quite fascinating and worthwhile reading, if only to realize that what's going to happen when the lockdown ends and all these industries start spewing the pollutants again. Well, it's going to be worse than ever because they're going to be trying to make up for lost time and make the earth even more fouled and filthy than it already is. Sorry, sometimes I just lose it, It must be the confinement. It's really starting to get to me. It's affecting me psychologically. Is it affecting you psychologically? I would think that it affects everybody, but there's negatives and there's positives to it. It's quiet. It's quiet. Normally, there's so much traffic. It's quiet. It's quiet. It's a drag. You can't go out to a club and hear a band. You can't go to the movies, and you can't do shit like that. Because if you do, you're gonna die as soon as you go out of the house. We're all just dropping like flies, you know. You know, when I was young, I was really influenced by the whole hippie culture. Yeah, I mean, I was young in the 60s, very young, too young to be a hippie. I was just a kid, but I surreptitiously read hippie literature, and it sort of, well, I just aspired to be a really good hippie with my life. I figured that was a good thing to do with my life. So I grew my hair long, in countless battles with my dad over it, and I got myself a jean jacket and frayed jeans and some little round John Lennon glasses, and I was an aspiring hippie. Well, of course, you know, being an aspiring hippie meant that I would have to go out and find a bit of weed to smoke, because that's what the hippies all did. And so I promptly went out and spent my last $5 that I'd earned cutting the neighbor's grass and bought some prime oregano. Well, one thing led to another, and over the years, I became more of a successful hippie. I mean, I actually looked the part when I was 18, and, you know, and I looked like a hippie, and I decided to join the hippie revolution. But by then, the revolution had ended, only I hadn't realized it yet, but, like, you know, they had disco balls with colored lights coming out of them, and yards of polyester platform boots. It was an ugly time for an aspiring hippie. Well, life moved on, and of course, during the 80s, everybody got more conservative. At least that's what the media was saying. Well, everybody's more conservative now. That was after Ronnie Reagan's, and everybody was terrified, and the sexual revolution was over, and you know, just when I decided to join it, it was already gone. It was the story of my life, man. The story of my life. It was just too late for everything, you know. Except being born, because I was born too early. I was actually born in a vehicle. Yes, I was born in the back seat of a 1953 Austin on the way to the hospital in Montreal. And my dear departed mother would always say that I gave her trouble from the moment I was born. Thanks, Mom. That didn't give me a complex at all. Well, that's my little history lesson for the week, for you young'uns. I don't think I got too many young'uns watching. Why? Because you consider me a boomer, tumor consumer? I'm not. Well, I guess technically I am, but I hate that word. It's just so, like, you know, you picture these old people in Florida. It's always in Florida. They're walking on the beach with their metal detectors and their Bermuda shorts, and it's just, you know. So I hate the word boomer. So I deny all culpability for my generation. My generation sold out a long time ago, and I'm sorry, but I didn't. And that's why I'm still here at my age, bitching and complaining, and giving you the finest entertainment that I can possibly muster after a couple of beers. No, it was only 2, I swear. Now, the only thing constant is change. And researchers have recently been able to study long-term personality traits from the age of 15 and the age of 77. They followed these people in this study and found that 6 basic personality traits actually changed over time. Of course, this is in keeping with our bodies. Every molecule is changed over time, and it just keeps reproducing, and you become a totally new creature. So, for anybody interested in that, it just means that humans are capable of change. Humans are capable of doing great works of art. Humans are capable of many good things, but also capable of being the most destructive force of nature, overrunning the planet, like the viruses that we are. We are virus. We are golden. We are viruses. That's it. That's what it is. The Earth has a virus, and we're all running around on the surface of the Earth killing it. But in the end, maybe it's just the Earth's way of saying too many people, too much oil, too many things burning. We could create alternate systems of transport. We could create all these wonderful things. However, there is nothing but division between every group of person. Division, division, division. And it doesn't help when that division is being cheerleaded on by certain oligarchic members of the political establishment. But politics aside, humans are just nasty. They create wars, they create famines. The only thing they don't really create is, well, I guess I was going to say extreme weather events, but they create those too. I guess we've started to get really good at creating those with the amount of climate change. But you can't even talk about that. There's some people that are so narrow-minded and so unable to comprehend the challenges that we as a species face, that a whole industry of denialism has set in. I should know better than to read the comments on YouTube videos, but one in particular actually gave me kind of a shock, and not, it's just taking things one step further. Somebody said, "All hail God Emperor Trump." Isn't that wonderful, a God Emperor? Is that what you're looking for? I mean, you could go into, everybody knows about his crooked past, his crooked present, and his crooked future. But let's just ignore that because he's a God Emperor. Or these maniacs saying that he's sent from God to rescue America. As if America, if God is there, why would he favor America over all these other nations just because they have more, they burn more shit, they produce more garbage? Anyway, that's my rant for this week. I hope that it's long enough. I don't know. I sit in front of this camera and I look out there and I picture my regular viewers, and it's very nice to hear from you all. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs down. I don't check them, so it doesn't matter to me. Anyway, be well, and everybody keep doing what you're doing. Just be creative. Try and make something good when you have some time, right? Try and learn new skills, crafts. It's just hopefully non-destructive activities. So I will see you next week. It's hard for me to keep a schedule with anything. I don't know why my brain is just scrambled in all these different directions. So doing things regularly is not my forte, but I will try and get one out a week, just because some people seem to get some value out of it. And if you get value out of it, then it's free. I'm not going to beg you for money. I'm not going to do anything like that. I never have. That's probably why I'm still, well, one of the reasons why, after so many years, that I still haven't hit 1,000 subscribers. And even my offer of free toilet paper, believe it or not, did not bring in any new subscribers. So I guess the algorithm is still hard at work, loving my entertaining channel. I don't know what I do wrong. It's not my fault. I don't like what I'm saying. Anyway, be well, everybody. And that's it.